First thing I would like to ask you is that how do you feel? I mean, after looking 20-25 years back when you started Charudatta classes, how do you feel right now?
Actually, to be honest, I feel very proud. The reason being, when I started this journey, like there were lot many people, no, like even it was somewhere even I myself into that, like who had undermined me.
Correct.
Because I, being an average student, everyone when like a bit dubious whether I would be in a position to be a good teacher or no.
Correct.
Right from my parents. It's not like my mom used to say, Ki, I'm not sure whether you would be in a position to do justice to those things. But definitely when I look into all these things and when I think about it, I feel so good. No, yeah. The subjects which I was very poor into, like maths, especially geometry, okay, then accounts, wherein I used to never score good, I am now someone who have mastered it.
Wow.
I cannot say I have mastered it entirely, because always for every teacher, you never become perfect.
Definitely.
See, expecting being perfect itself is
Myth.
a myth,
Yeah.
I can say. So perfection is never there, but at least somewhere now I have my own satisfaction. No, yeah,
Exactly.
It's
The
okay.
sense of satisfaction
yeah,
is there.
yeah. I'm doing justice when I
Ye
can
kar
see
liya hai.
Kar liya. I can, when I see those students, their faces, their contentment, I can see many of my students coming up with different doubts, and I had anticipated those doubts, and I know that I'm before they ask the doubt, I'm in
One
front of
step
them.
ahead.
One step ahead. So many a times when the lecture gets over, I ask, you have any doubts? So none of them hardly have. And if I ask, Ari, come on, no sir, we had certain doubts, but before we asked, you were there. So this is something which gives me the greatest satisfaction.
That's really great.
Yeah, sure.
And the second thing which I wanted to run you through, ki what was that time when you decided that you want to teach? उसके क्या किस्से हैं?
Honestly speaking, अगर देखा जाएगा तो right from my childhood I had all the traits of being a teacher. When I used to go to my natives in Goa, I used to enact my teachers, and it was like I used to stay in my to my granny's place, and it's a small village like Sakurada karke, and in village there are hardly some 25-26 houses, not more than that.
Correct.
Lekin everyone used to come to there to see how I am enacting my teachers, and I am still famous in
And
Goa.
the teachers were in Pune. I mean, in your
Yeah,
school.
my primary school teachers, I used to enact them. So, and then I used to check the books and all with the red color, put some sign.
A
and
proper
all. So,
setup.
yeah. Means I had those all qualities. And my brother always says, my elder brother used to always say, you had all those things in you and you wanted to become a teacher. And somewhere, हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि like बाळाचे पाय पाळण्यात दिसतात. This is something what has been said in Marathi.
Exactly.
So it was like that my maybe my brother and my parents understood he wanted to be a teacher.
Correct.
And he began. I really wanted to be a teacher because that is a profession which I really love.
So nobody had to tell you that you need to be a teacher or this is your thing.
Another one thing is there. No one, I hadn't any guide as such. Definitely, I hadn't any guide to tell me you be a teacher. After being a teacher, definitely I had good guides. Like I had Nirantar Miss. My journey started with coaching classes with Nirantar Miss.
Okay.
She gave me a very good break.
Okay.
Later on, it was Mr. and Mrs. Telore. I would explicitly mention they were the people who told me how to be in front of the students. Okay, they taught me that. Then there were a lot. See, I am a commerce graduate, but I used to teach science. I have taught science and English and mathematics for 15 years. So there, I had many difficulties. It was those people who used to tell me, they used to solve my difficulties and used to tell me what would be the probable doubts, how you need to anticipate it,
exactly.
and how you need to present it.
Correct.
So it was a very good this. I had those people also.
But it's very, very unnatural, right? A commerce teacher who has taking 11th se leke MCom tak ke classes, and now he was teaching science and maths also in for 8th to 10th, if I'm not wrong, right? 8, 9, 10.
And that too for 12. If you really count my journey, it was from 1992
Wow.
to 2012. It becomes 20 years
Wow.
being a science teacher. And the credit goes to Shreya's class. Nyanda classes, Shreya's class specifically because Mr. Rajendra Masavde,
Correct.
he was a very good fellow who gave me, means he trusted me.
Correct.
And I was a teacher at that time. It was quite challenging because
Correct.
a teacher going in a jeans pant and a t-shirt in a very casual dress and having an approach like a kid or like a teenager with the students and all. In those days, it was the teachers are rather quite stereotype. And it was like for them, it was really ki kya hai? What is this person doing? How see the way he's grooming, and does it match with the so-called at that time the grooming standards of the teacher? And but Rajendra Masode was who trusted me. He said, "वो Charudatta hai. It is my identity." To be with the casuals and go with the students, flock with them, have the language.
Be one of them.
My sir used to say you are having a radio mirchi language. So I said, it's okay. You should, you even fit to be a RJ and all. I said, no sir, but I just wanted to be a teacher. So, but it was because I had a confidence in teaching science. To be very honest and very frank, I came to into this line because I wanted to be a science teacher.
Whoa.
But I wasn't good in science.
I bet nobody knew this.
It was like I was never good in maths, but I was very good in science. And I loved science and I wanted to be a science teacher. And there was Telore sir who taught me all these things.
I'm just, thinking and taking it in because it is so, I mean, at that time when you were struggling, when those were your struggling days, teaching was the more important aspect, right? Rather,
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that was not there ki bande ne BCom kiya hai, so he should not teach science. I mean, I think even the parents did not look in that way. And somehow, because now that is there, na, ki if you have not done science yourself, how can you teach science? I mean, they don't get the fact that I can love science till my 10th standard and then move into something else. But I can be a good teacher. I mean, the focus was teaching, I mean, to say.
But one thing, let me tell you this, Yash. It's like, if you are, when I used to go for an interview or when I used to go into any school as such, okay, for being a science teacher. So like over there, they might take into consideration my qualification.
Okay.
But I do remember I was working in Jyoti School, Pimpri.
Okay.
It is in Nehru Nagar.
Okay.
Board exams were there
at
that time and I was a science teacher over there. I had equipped the entire lab all alone without the help of even a peon. Okay. To equip the lab for the board exams.
Wow.
For all that, I had arranged the entire lab. I do remember it. And I'm very proud to even say this. Like, I was a science teacher. I had equipped the lab. I had arranged all the apparatus and I had made a very good arrangement wherein the teacher, the external examiners who had been over there to take that exam, they too appreciated it. So that was very good, and science was the subject of my taste. Even today, right now, if you ask me what is the relationship between circulation and blood circulation, respiration, I can present it diagrammatically without referring anything.
Wow.
I can tell you what is an ionic compound and what is the difference between a covalent compound. I can tell you why metals are good conductors and why not the non-metals. So I have all logical reasoning, but this credit goes to those teachers
who taught
like Mr. and Mrs. Telore, first of all. Secondly, it was Nimbalkar sir, who taught me a lot. I used to observe his lecture. I used to sit with the students. 150 ka class mein, I used to be one of the students to observe Nimbu sir's lecture in Bhosle because I had to teach the same in Pradhikaran batch. It was so, it's like that. But see, being a teacher, you have to be always a learner.
Correct.
Even today, at this juncture also, I couldn't say that I'm perfect. If I have to, there are many things which really I need to study. I would definitely love to attend someone's lecture.
Correct.
There's no problem. It's like that.
Whom did you look up to? Because who was your biggest motivation at that point of time? Who gave you immense motivation? Because everyone has that one person. Maybe it is physically present in your life or he's not. But he somewhere inspired you, motivated you and kept you going,
Uh, I could first of all say it was what kept me motivated. And actually, it was all my overall, I can say, the condition of my family. Okay. I had to go through lot many financial crunches. I had to go through lot many phases wherein people were quite critical about my approach, many things, but that was something which egged me to be more better. I would say, means that was, I would say I was self-motivated. But definitely one thing is that I used to observe teacher, especially I would love to specify Nimbalkar sir's this, because he was the person who was the first one to inspire me as a teacher how you should be into your presentation.
Correct.
So was like on a big board, he used to make 3 parts with a very wonderful, amazing handwriting, and he used to jot down all the points which he wants to clarify. And for every point, he used to give appropriate justice and he used to go ahead. So मैं जब उनका lecture observe करता था, I used to say यार ऐसा teacher होना है. Like everyone was like ये क्या करेगा? He is not someone. He is an average student. How can he be? Even now there are a few people who ask me, अरे मुलं पास होतात ना, something like that in Marathi, you know, like I really wonder, I need to tell that my class is having a good strength, I'm having a good name. Without having my presence on Google, I had 225 to 250 students, all I used to handle alone.
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
for just
That's
two teachers, for an admin, and my wife as an admin. But I could explicitly say one thing, my support system, right, first and the foremost was my mom and then my wife, who stood besides me in thick and thin, especially my wife, who keeps me motivating. Whenever I go down, she tells me, no, everything is going to happen good,
On
and
your
you have
toes.
done.
She's keeping you on your toes.
Yeah, she's keeping me on my toes and she's egging me for all those things. That is very important. Yani, I don't know how to say this in this journey, but I would definitely say, behind every successful man, there is a woman.
Correct.
This is there, no? For me, it's true. And there are 2 women. One is my mom.
Correct.
And one is my wife. Mom used to sometimes critically she used to criticize. Why? Because she wanted me. She had some dreams. My brother being an engineer, holding a very good position, and like she too wanted me to be into that. But I don't know. I cannot say unfortunately. I would say fortunately it was good enough that I didn't get into that corporate sector. I am loving this profession, and I don't think so I would ever repent for being into this profession.
He was saying right now that, you know, people were very, giving out comments. So on that basis, I would like to ask कि ये जो criticisms लोगों ने आपको दिए थे, तो what were the worst criticisms you have ever got? I mean, and what impact did those criticisms have on you? Because usually those people who are very emotional and not, you know, sometimes they are weak in heart and they don't have that push. They get laid down because of those criticisms. So, first of all, what were those criticisms and what was the impact of those criticisms in your life? Uska kya scene hai?
Criticism is like, it was something, a part and parcel of my life, almost even till date. In some other aspects, after proving myself as one of the good, I cannot say better, best and all like that, but one of a good teacher. Now at least that criticism at a professional level has gone down.
Okay.
With the amount of goodwill which I have earned and all that, I have proved myself. But criticism is like, I still remember one of my so-called schoolmate, I can say friend, his father, he just met me accidentally a few years back.
Okay.
And like in Marathi, काय चारू सगळं कसं चाललंय छान ना, म्हटलं अजूनही शिकवण्याच घेतो का? I said, uncle, I run a coaching class. होतात का मुलं पास? M.Com झालास का? It was like, this was what was a typical, I shouldn't be this, but it was a typical style.
Got it.
And I really felt, I didn't feel bad at all at that time, because these people were only, especially that was the family who actually used to always undermine me. They used to always underestimate me. And even my school friends, especially some of them who belong to a D division. Okay, in my school, I belong to HA school. So in my school, there was DEF for English medium, wherein D was considered to be the most clever students over there, E for average, and F for the other. I was a E division guy, and rest all with the D division. The D division people used to have that superiority complex. So the way they used to speak, the way they used to, means even Charudatta, even when my son got good marks, Charudatta beta and 89% good. Like, come on, yeah, take a break. This is something, but I said it's okay. I just took it because I was used to it. So, but these were the factors which never undermined me. They were something which made me proof. And I've proved it. It's like that.
Wow.
So, let them speak. Critics ought to be there. And there should be critics. That leaves you a room for perfection, rather.
Correct.
But strive to prove yourself.
Constructive criticisms and some taunting criticisms, especially in our society.
So, see, taunting. The place where we live, the place itself is full of people who will be taunting by one or the other way to you. So, you're used to it.
We have actually got to know about this, okay? So, we got to know that students call you Charu or Dada, and you're fine with it. So, ये क्या किस्सा है?
Students do come with many issues. There are single parents. They have some family issues.
Correct.
They come with some mental stress with me. They don't look towards me just like a teacher, but mentor of their life, or somewhat someone whom we can bank upon, a person, and being open to them, open to their criticism, open to them also. Okay, then telling their negative in a positive manner without making them lose their morale, their courage. These all things used to make them, put them near to me. Wearing a jeans pant and a t-shirt in front of the students on the very first day, it is a student saying, "Are ye teacher ne ye apni tarah lag raha hai." And then talking with them in a radio mirchi language or in a normal language, like it actually, वो जो एक gap रहता है in between a student and a teacher, okay, that has been bridged. Rather, the bridge is also not necessary. It comes to
You've closed.
You come on the same plane.
Got it.
Okay, and when you come on the same plane, it becomes very easy for you to communicate with each other. जो communication gap रहता है, by which the students are not in a position to express themselves properly to the teacher.
Correct.
Especially I am in a coaching industry. Coaching classes is like, we are meant for teaching. We are not meant for any clerical work. We don't have any government ka koi rules and restrictions that we have to present these papers and all. Nothing like that. So let me do justice to that.
Correct.
So for that reason, when I used to go in this all way to the students, the students used to come near to me. That was the student psyche.
This is a new thing, because the MNC culture lets you call you by your first name itself, no matter you are a country head or a founder itself. It is like, I want to call you Mike, I'll call you Mike. I don't call sir.
Yeah.
So you taught them being one of them, and we have got to know. Another theory. Which everyone has faced, and we've got to know that whoever attends your class for the first time, you don't go by asking their name first. You go for the zodiac sign. So, ये क्या है? मतलब, I have never ever heard this. I have never seen any teacher doing this or taking this approach. So, what is your theory on this? Why do you go for, and how has it helped you?
It helps a lot. See, I don't know. It has helped me immensely, at least me, it's my perspective. I'm not sure whether everyone will agree with it or no. But for me, it's like the zodiac sign matters a lot, because your characteristic traits are those things which influence your understanding. Your approach, your attitude, your entire, means your perspective. You can understand the student's perspective by knowing the characteristic traits of the person belonging to that zodiac sign. It's not, I am no way interested into any astrological aspect. I'm only interested
I was about to say that.
Yeah,
I was about to
no
say
astrological aspect into that. Only characteristic trait. Just like, for an example, I can tell you, if I have a Aquarian, okay, he's asking me a doubt. The doubt is legitimate. It is correct. Because he is a person who wants a depth of understanding.
Correct.
I cannot be in front of him. This is the entry, this is debit, this is credit. He ought to ask me why debit and why not credit. Give me a logical reason. I need to tell him what is the difference between bad debts, reserve for doubtful debts, and reserve for discount on daters. Because they are the people who are not going to accept anything. They need to have a depth of understanding. There'll be a Virgo in my class. Virgos are the people who never trust anyone. Right? They have someone in the school, in their college, who will be teaching something, some concept. He'll be listening to me, he'll be listening to the teacher, and he'll be saying, like, sir ne to wo bola tha. Kiska sunu. And he is a person, he will be a person, he will get convinced only when he gets a concrete reason for what you are telling him. So there also I have to do the same thing. I have Leos who will be Leos and the Geminis. Geminis too are very good in their understanding.
Okay.
Yes, and Geminis are clever people. They are multitasking people, independent people, and they have a good sense of humor. They have something which means they are vivacious people, and they have a very good extempo.
Okay.
So they will be the people who will ask you some doubts which are real doubts. They'll ask you some doubts to create a humor in the class.
Correct.
Because they love to be the center of attraction. So they will be doing that also. And some to put you down. So when I know this is a Gemini, I get this insight. No, I have to handle him with so cautiously that he will never dare to do that because they have a hidden ego. And a Leo is like someone who will deliberately ask you a question, not all the time, but something to check your knowledge. And to prove himself to be more better than others. So I have to even handle that person with the care without disturbing his ego. So these all things help me a lot,
I'm laughing because it is so relatable. I know a Virgo, I know a Gemini, I know a Leo, and I am imagining them in your class.
And one more thing, even the Pisceans, the Pisceans are pretty good and very sweet people, but unfortunately the Pisceans are not in a position to express explicitly in the initial stage. When they come to me, they become very expressive and everything later. See,
correct.
It's a maturity phase. In teenage, you are not that profound in everything.
Correct.
So it's like that. So it happens that this person, a Piscean, when I'm explaining him something, he tries to understand. Somewhere then he develops his own understanding, and somewhere he gets trapped in that understanding. And then he's not in a position to go ahead. Then I tell, suppose there is one ex-person, Baba, suppose he is Sohan. Please wait, don't develop your understanding. I know you where you're going to get. You udhar hi ruk jao. To udhar rukna, you don't develop any understanding. मैं तेरे को ये पूरा clear करके देता हूँ. You meet me after the class if you want. So this is something which I need to do. That helps me a lot.
This is a phenomenon theory. I mean, if you take aside the astrological part, which some people might think that it is for that, but if you only look at for understanding your students better as a teacher, what better opportunity than this? Because you're already speculating the doubts which might come in their mind, and you're just stop there. I get that. So that is happening, and plus you have a personal attention to everyone.
Yeah. And what happens, that helps you a lot. Like for instance, Aries are someone who might come and be violent with me, or they might be a bit outspoken also. Aries are some people who are like, they are very sweet by heart. They're like small kids, But one thing is that कि वो कैसा है, हल्का कान बोलते हैं ना, किसी ने कुछ बोला, they are going to trust because they are kids. Aries are like that. तो वो आकर जो मेरे को बता रहा है, I need to know whether it is his doubt or it is someone who has made him, and it is something on an impulsive note. Okay, then when there is a Taurian in front of me, he is really a sorted person. So the Taurian, I need to handle that person very carefully because he is not expressive with everyone.
Correct.
He's
introvert.
A Taurian, or even Karka Rashi, okay, Cancerian. These people are like, they are very, or even a Scorpion. These people do not become open to everyone.
So what's your zodiac?
Guess what it is. I'm an Arian. Let's not get into the geese. I'm an Arian.
And so what are your favorite zodiacs?
My favorite zodiac, if you say, I love Tula. It's a balanced one.
Libra. Correct.
Yeah. Libras are amazing people for me. And then second is the Taurians.
Got it. Sorted.
Amazing people for me. Like,
And who is that? I mean, I don't want to put it, but who becomes the more pain in the
From the zodiac point of view.
which zodiac turns like that?
Actually, to be honest, see, I cannot say any specific zodiac is that like not
Correct. Because I understand
I dislike
that
or
if
something.
it is a character,
But sometimes it happens like the Geminis put me on my nerve. To be honest, because sometimes they are like so impulsive. Let me. I mean, there are some students na, like Geminis.
रुक लो मुझे खत्म करने
हाँ,
दो.
let me first of all complete my. I'm coming to that point. Yeah, they will go a bit try to put themselves ahead. No, they can do anything. Or sometimes they are very pathetic. Sometimes
Spot चाहिए.
yeah, and sometimes they deliberately try to undermine the teacher, and they they disturb the environment, and especially. The Geminis I find many a times lack some, they are selectively emotional, and I definitely don't like that.
I was about to say that because the characteristics are totally dependent on the upbringing also, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure,
if
definitely.
your parents have brought up you in such a positive and peaceful manner, as you said, that if the family is sorted,
Yeah.
no matter what is the zodiac, he will be turning out totally opposite. You have had some instances like this where you misjudged कि I didn't think you are that, but you are like that. थोड़ा वो मिस कैसे तो मेरे को लगा था तू ये था लेकिन तू निकला कुछ और मतलब I mean he was not justifying his characteristic traits.
It's not only the zodiac sign, but it is with the family.
Correct.
It's even the friend circle.
Yeah.
Which I see. We have a saying in English, birds of same feather flock together. When 11th May students take admission with me, and after a few days, once they get settled in my class, I can find the students who are very sweet and good, they will flock only be close to those friends.
Correct.
The one who are average will be with the average one, and the one who are notorious will be with the notorious ones only. But very important thing. See, the notorious ones, we say that they are naughty, they are rowdy or something like that, but they are actually the real ones.
Correct.
They have a high amount of EQ, emotional quotient in them, which has actually not been accorded, not been respected, not been given that due attention in their entire academic curriculum, as well as maybe even their personal life, because of which they are like that.
Correct.
And you take these people into your you respect them, you try to bring the best out of them. They are the people who will never ever forget you in your life.
Correct.
So these are the people, and if I am closer to them, and if I really create them, if I mentor them, not only for my subjects, but for beyond that, then I get a greater satisfaction as a teacher.
So what do you think about the current education system in India?
Good point. To be frank, the education system in India, we cannot say it is bad. The content is very good, but definitely somewhere there is a gap wherein you will find what is actually going on into the practical world and the theoretical part.
Correct.
It doesn't go in sync. And practically, to be very honest, it is not necessary everything what you study in theory would be in practice. The government needs to have an insight for this. They should appoint a committee of teachers, okay, as well as the industrialist people who will together, they will help and give some suggestions wherein we can reframe the entire content and the syllabus, especially once you come out of your schooling.
Correct.
Now, anyways, we are having the new educational policy, and I cross my fingers. Fingers crossed. And I'm looking forward. It comes out with many changes, which would definitely be this.
Very true. What I personally feel right now, that I'm asking you out of whole heart, do you personally feel that the students which are there in every sector, I mean I'm not talking only about the commerce, but students overall, because you have been teaching for so long and you have seen that change in the psyche as well, change in aspirations, change in motivations, because वो wave होती है ना कि अभी बीच में जब 3 Idiots आई थी तभी engineering की wave थी, now it is a commerce wave going on. So people, you have seen the change in mindsets gradually in your time.
Yeah.
So the students of today, are they more keen into, getting into the rat race or getting into basically the herd mentality? Are they following that more and thinking about something different, doing something different and making a change which makes them happy? वो एस्पेक्ट कम हो रहा है कहीं ना कहीं आजकल स्टूडेंट्स में.
I can explicitly mention one thing, that now I, at least in 2000 when I taught the students, 2005, 2010 until 2015, I can say the out of the box thinking was very, very less. 2015 onwards, even parents have become cautious. Now parents don't want to put their kids into any of the saturated fields. So now the out of box thinking has now first originated into the parents.
Correct.
Okay, and then they eventually pass on to the students. It's like that. Now there are many parents who have started coming, especially the parents of our generation. They have started coming out with this things, and maybe now the new parents which are coming,
because we get to know that whenever a student or the parents, like, I don't know if the people who are coming from outside, from different states or different districts, they come, they take admission in any college, the most keen fact they are into is that placement. What about placement? But how can, does that getting job really make you a better person, or it will help your child to reach his goals or make him happy in any way? Because everybody is concerned about placement.
Yeah. But this psyche we need to change. And there somewhere there should be the students. I would rather say it is a challenge, and it is even the responsibility of you people, okay, as the now the citizens as such.
Correct.
Of this present day, that you should carry this ahead. Okay, like, don't be job oriented. Try to see yourself, explore yourself, try to evolve yourself, explore yourself, see something. There are many hidden things in you which you need not means you don't even know. The psyche of major people still is that my son should do a 9 to 5 wala job.
अभी वो थोड़ा चेंज हो गया, 6 to 3 वाला भी चलेगा. Any shift, not a job.
Now it's a IT fever, like my son should be 90, he should get a good. But see, you being, because now see, my friends, the people who belong to my generation, I can say that we were the people who were the beginners with the IT, right? So now you will find that all the people in the higher hierarchy, okay, in IT sector are the people of my age.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
But those people now, they should realize one thing, that the amount of pressure which those people are carrying, especially it was in the lockdown itself, when they were from, even now, right now also there are many of the IT people who are working from home.
Correct.
But they know there is a peer pressure which they carry, and which is affecting their health, their psychology, their mentality. Now they should give a thought, should my child be also a victim of all these things? If that psychology comes into them, then they will themselves be, first of all,
so shayad change hoga.
Yeah, then they will change their perspective. And I went into coaching. I took my teaching career as something totally different. I was a out of the box teacher, and that proves myself to be successful with the 250 students in my class, alone handling everything without much of an administrative staff, with my wife itself and 2 of my other teachers. Rest all is going on very well.
Correct.
I've proved it from myself. Because I knew that even if my seniors criticize me, this is not the way to be with the teacher. The teacher you should be always dressed in formal. You should be always very formal with the students. You see, it's what.
So you have broken the stereotype.
Yeah, I have broken. I have, and I'm renowned to be a teacher who is totally
unstereotyped.
Definitely unstereotyped. Like this, That's what
we can say cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to that. Yeah, definitely.
So other thing I wanted to ask you is, this age group of 25 to 35, because I'm considering 25 because most of us take a master's degree today. Nobody thinks that the graduation is mere enough. So you should go for master's, some kind of specialization, internships, some job experience. So it reaches 25 to understand and start introspecting. So I wanted to ask you this, that, 25 to 35, is that settlement really important in this age group? because everyone is very much focused कि settle होना है यार, settle होना है, शादी करनी है, settle होना है, ये करना है, settle होना है, parents are settle हो जा. So this settle is there a lot. So that's why I'm quoting it like this, because is this settlement really required in 25 to 35?
I would tell one thing. See, वैसा तो बंदा कभी सेटल नहीं होता है.
Correct.
You never settle.
The settlement I am talking about is, okay, I mean I'm earning, but I'm not having a 9 to 5 job. I am not doing Monday to Friday. I'm not having Saturday, Sunday weekly offs. I've stepped out of my comfort zone. So this is unsettling for my parents, for example. So they think I'm not settled. I'm earning. I'm having my living. I'm struggling. Now, is this unsettling wrong?
No. I'm still working on Sundays. I don't think so.
Because
it's really amazing. See, I'm working on Sundays, no problem.
Sir, किसी को comfort zone ही नहीं छोड़ना है.
Why?
Because they are scared. Most of the people are scared.
This comfort zone is something which actually, so my doctor always say pray for adversity, and I really approve with them. Okay, he says pray for adversity because see, like when you have adversities in your life, your life is like up down, like what you say. See, a cardiac does, like when your ECG is up and down, you're living. When it is like this, you're dead.
Correct.
So when you are going for a 9 to 5, you get stagnated. You have only the same
straight
type of
line
life, and that life becomes a boredom, especially for people like me. Or like you, maybe even like you, or maybe people who really want to do something out of the box.
Exactly.
Okay, and that is something which should be considered as an egging factor, a motivating factor, and that should be taken. And you can go. See, I married at an age of 23. I was father at an age of 24. No settled. So-called that norms,
Settlement
like, ये settlement का norm है.
कहीं नहीं था, आसपास भी नहीं था.
Not even 1,000 balance in my bank, यार. And I was delivering 15 lectures a day.
Correct. You were hustling.
The hustle bustle never ended till the age of my 44. Now I'm having 9 lectures, buddy. Till that date, it was really this. But still, I enjoyed it.
What's happening, what's happening, because the kind of motivation which is needed from the parents and from the society, it's not being given. Because if I'm an artist, I'm a freelance artist, I'm painting, I'm having my exhibitions, or if I'm a photographer, I'm having my exhibitions, I'm doing nature photography, I've applied for internship in National Geographic, but it's not a steady income. If I'm an artist, my parents will be like, MF Hussain बन जाएगा क्या? So why is that comparison direct with MF Hussain? वो मीडियोकर लेवल पे क्यों नहीं हो सकता है? मतलब everybody is like क्रिकेट खेल रहा है, सचिन थोड़ी बन जाएगा. But सचिन के नीचे भी जो थे.
Give my example.
Exactly.
Sir is not very successful in life, but better you can give.
If you get into education industry, Byju's थोड़ी बन जाएगा. But Byju started small. I mean, everybody started small.
It's not like the Byju's.
Small steps count.
Everyone have their own pros and cons. It's all what you think about. It's the way, it's your perspective. It's actually the parents should, first of all, I would definitely assert very strongly, which I believe my perspective is really correct. It is not only my perspective. I really would request the parents to change their perspective.
You are having somebody at home, a family, friends, barges in.
I swear.
अचानक से career guidance उनसे लिया जाता है. And they are like कि नहीं इसको engineering कराओ. And they suddenly the parents change the psyche कि बच्चा अभी commerce के लिए prepare कर रहा था, arts के लिए कर रहा था, XYZ. Suddenly now you have to become an engineer. अंकल ने बोला. Scope है, बहुत scope है.
ये बहुत नहीं.
तुमको क्या पता है? तू तो बच्चा है. मैं बोल रहा हूँ रियल वर्ल्ड में अंकल थे, आए थे, बोले इंजीनियरिंग करना है.
ये तो मेरे यहाँ बहुत होता है. आई 11th स्टैंडर्ड में मेरे यहाँ पेरेंट्स आते हैं एडमिशन. We have decided our son is going to do CA. I wonder, come on, how come you can see your son is going to be a CA? Do you know what is CA?
उसको खुद को पता नहीं.
He doesn't know even the full form of chartered accountant. And if you're good in accounts, doesn't mean that you will be a CA. There are so many things. You need to first of all see whether it suits your son. You have observed your son from his childhood. Right? So go see him, observe him, see his pros, see his cons, look him with your perspective, with some other perspective, and not from the perspective of the people who are guiding you. Make your son an engineer or doctor. See, you customize it, for yourself. You need not customize the career of your. You need not determine the career of your child from some XYZ, your relative, your neighbor, or your friend who is advising you. Forget it. No, not
This
necessarily.
is basically the parents' journey.
Yeah. It's
And they need to go undergo this.
Sure.
In this tedious routine of, you have been managing your business solely, obviously with the help of ma'am.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you give yourself short breaks, or what do you like to do in your free time?
Actually, I give a break to myself by going to my natives.
Okay.
I love driving.
Wow.
I do driving. Then I write. I write whatever there is on my mind. I like to write about the good acquaintances of the people who have been into my life. I love to write poems. I love to interact with the people, with my good friends, with my neighbors and all. I do this. I love to do that because that is something. And touring, I am. See, again, I can come to the zodiac sign, but being a Bharani Nakshatra from born under Aries, they are people who love to be at home a lot. So I'm like that. I love to see that my interiors are very good. I love to do that. Then sometimes even I love to do some creative things. As actually I want to be into makeup and into different. After teaching, after a few years, I will be just. I'll be into teaching, but I want to take this also as one part of explore other aspects of my this. So maybe a makeup artist or something like that. Let me see how can I grow myself into that. I'm not sure whether I'll be successful, but definitely I'll love to be.
Definitely, sir. I mean, see, success is not important, but the trying and hustling is more important. लहरों से नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती. So that happens. I mean,
I wanted hustle in my life all the time. That's very important because the day that hustle goes, I don't think so that there will be any chance of
straight line आ जाएगी.
Yeah, I don't want that straight
ECG.
वो मेरा ECG ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. It's like that.
What is the best thing which ever happened to you because you decided teaching?
I'm happy today.
And so that brings to my next question also, because it was a very precise answer. So how would you define one, happiness and success?
Is what the definition of happiness for me is not bank balance. Happiness is something when you give something to your students. When I see my students, the so-called neglected students doing so profoundly in their career, I feel very good. Some students are now 42, 43 and their kids are coming to me right now as 11th standard students. So when they say ये सर था हमारा, इनकी वजह से हम लोग ऐसे ऐसे है करके, तो that is what is a pride. That is what is success for me.
Correct.
Success is being a balance. Success is not always in monetary terms. Not monetary also, I'm very strong. It's not like that. But let me not count anything in materialistic term, because that is not something which is going to be everlasting. It will bring a smile.
This is your treasure.
Yeah, that is a treasure for me. It is something, it is a memory. With every student, I carry a good memory. A good memory only, not a bitter memory. It's like that. So, it's all like that. For me, success is that. Success is a balance in your life. Don't be only professional. Don't be only career focused. A balance of EQ and IQ. Intelligent quotient and an emotional quotient. When you have a balance in that, you are successful, truly. We meet on Naidu here, and then we chit chat and we have a very good gala time. We laugh a lot. That is what I've earned. That is what is my definition of success or happiness.
Exactly.
That success gives me happiness. Okay, or that happiness gives me success. It's both. That is what I can see. I means like students telling me, sir, can we catch up at Naidu today? Are you free? Sir, thoda to time de do yaar. Something like that.
I know.
That is a success for me.
Thank you so much, sir. I mean, it was so nice talking to you, understanding your perspective, what motivated you, and it's a great motivation for us. So I just want to thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it was a pleasure talking to you.
You're most welcome, my dear. It was really equally the same. The feeling is totally mutual, my dear. It was really good. Felt good to express myself also. That was really good. Gave me a room to express myself.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to you too. Okay. Thank you.